zichitika munyika yedu yeZimbabwe tichingoti kana uri mutsva, hit the subscribe button and also turn the notification bell so that when you post any news and update you'll be the first one kusangana nema latest news atinenge taisa. So ranhasi takabata nawo yava Patrick Chinamasa vanova ZANU-PF Secretary for Legal Affairs muZimbabwe, vanova zvakare mukuru wecyber team yebato reZANU-PF iyo inonzi varakashi for ED. Patrick Chinamasa vakaposta paTwitter pavo vachitaura pamusoro pekugadzwa kwakuda kwaChitagwirei vachiti hapana ari kumisa kugadzwa kwakuda kwaChitagwirei kuva Central Committee member webato reZANU-PF sezvo vaChristopher Mutsvangwa pamwechete naVP Chiwenga vakazviramba kuti vakuda kwaChitagwirei and also vaObed Mupofu zvakare ndo vamwe vakazviramba futi vachiti vakuda kwaChitagwirei havana kukwanisa qualify kuva ZANU-PF Central Committee member muZimbabwe. Asina wi pakataurwa na Patrick Chinamasa kuti vakuda kwaChitagwirei vato Central Committee member bato reZANU-PF vakabvumirwa patuma meeting akaitwa bato reZANU-PF zvakaita kuti bato reZANU-PF vanhu vataure kuti izvi zvakuzoitisa kuti hondo dzikurwirwa pasi petebho bato reZANU-PF dzichabuda pachena. So nezuro pari kutsanangurwa kunzi post yanga yakanyorwa na Patrick Chinamasa iri kunzi yadeletwa kutwitter kwawo muZimbabwe, iri kunzi haichisaoneke post iyi mashoko evazhinji. And also vanhu vari kutaurawo vachiti mapages eTwitter ava Patrick Chinamasa vasiriyo vanova manager, vamwe vari kutiwo anomanejwa naDerek Agoto maposts anenge achipostwa paTwitter muZimbabwe. Asi zvinhu zvokuti vakurasirana vakuona kuti pavakanyora tweet iyi yakasvika ichibaya mumwoyo yevanhu vasiri kuda vakuda kwaChitagwirei. So according to news kunyorwa zvichinzi President Emerson Mnangagwa has reportedly instructed ZANU-PF Secretary for Legal Affairs Patrick Chinamasa to delete a public statement he posted on Twitter defending the corruption of controversial businessman kuda kwaChitagwirei into the party's Central Committee. The directive announcement via the ZANU-PF aligned Operation Restore Legacy, a social media page, on Monday comes amid growing speculations over internal functionalism within the ruling party. The president and the first secretary of ZANU-PF directed the Secretary for Legal Affairs to avoid this transgression in his future discharge of his duty. The statement read, the same source claimed Chinamasa has been ordered to retract his post on Twitter where he defended the process that led to Tagwirei's corruption. Chasara Kuramba, a Twitter account, the post added hinting at possible further restriction on Chinamasa use of the platform. In the now deleted tweet, Chinamasa has posted a lengthy statement characterized the controversy as much ado about nothing and defending Tagwirei appointment a legitimate and above board. Below is Chinamasa full statement reproduced as original. So muZimbabwe tsamba ndiyo yeimwe yamuri kuona yanda kuisira pa screen yakanyorwa nava Chinamasa. Tagwirei, a controversial businessman closely linked to President Emerson Mnangagwa, remain one of the most polarized figure in Zimbabwean politics. His rising influence in ZANU-PF has been interpreted by insider as sign that could be Mnangagwa's chosen successor, and assumptions that have reportedly intensified rivalry between him and Vice President Constantino Chiwenga. Well, Chinamasa's statement appeared to be an attempt to query the public uproar. Mnangagwa's move to suppress it suggested the party leadership is seeking tighter control of internal message as tensions mount. Presidential spokesperson George Charamba had not responded to a request for comment by the term of publications. So muZimbabwe ndo zvimwe zviri kutaurwa pamusoro pechiitiko ichi, asi vari kunzi Patrick Chinamasa vopinda padambudziko rakaomarara mushure mekunge vakanyira pavanodyira mubato reZANU-PF, mushure mekunge vatoondonga kuna VP Chiwenga, mushure mekunge vataura statement risiri kudiwa bato reZANU-PF sezvo vakuda kwaChitagwirei vari kuonekwa vachitenga political position nemari yavakauya vachiflasha mbato reZANU-PF. What's your take on this issue? What's your take on this news? Idzo news dzatati kabata pana pachannel.
Just watched President Emerson Mnangagwa doing the tourism launch. So tonight, we're dissecting what I think is a masterclass in political synergy. I think what it was to me was it was a brand launch that is so sophisticated that it has not only redefined governance, but has restructured an entire economic sector from its knees. Let me talk to you about the Mnangagwa partnership. Something that you're going to understand about the relationship between the president and his wife. There is no better case study for this playbook than the stunning renaissance in Zimbabwe's tourism industry. To understand the scale of this achievement, you have to remember where we were before 2017. The sector was in a state of chronic underperformance, crippled by economic chaos, a tarnished international image, and I think the infamous police roadblocks were the sour cream for every visitor experience. The industry was in a state of self-reinforcing negative cycle. Then came the pivot. First, it was the Zimbabwe is open for business, which was a mantra, but to me, I think it wasn't just a slogan. It was the starting pistol to a complete strategic overhaul. One side, I think, has the president, which is the architect, and I think he's the building hardware. He laid out the blueprint with the National Tourism Recovery Strategy, which set an audacious goal to say by 2025 would have a $5 billion tourism industry. Then came the structural reforms, the creation of the Zimbabwe Investment and Development Agency, ZIDA. This was a landmark move. It created a one-stop investment services center, ripping away the red tape that once strangled investors. He then designated the Victoria Falls as a strategic special economic zone, which meant offering massive tax incentives to attract capital. He then pours money into upgrading the front doors, that's the Robert Mugabe and the Victoria Falls International Airport. That attracts premier airlines to now come back into our skies, your Emirates, your Qatar, your British Airways, back in our skies. President Mnangagwa then modernized the visa system with a fully functional e-visa platform, and he championed the regional CASA Univisa, making entry and exit out of the country pretty much seamless. The results of the hardware installation are undeniable. Tourist arrivals are up 1.6 million in 2024. The money followed. Tourism receipts surged to an estimated 1.8 billion in 2024, re-establishing tourism as a billion-dollar industry. In the first half of this year alone, ZIDA licensed projects worth $500 million in the new tourism investment. The machine is working, but the hardware is useless without the right software. Hear me out for a second. This is where the playbook becomes genius. This is where you see the hand of First Lady Ophelia Mnangagwa. And let me explain. She is the chief implementer. But more than that, she is also the chief strategist in her own right. Her Angel of Hope Foundation, that charity, that is the engine of Leave No One and No Place Behind. I know a little bit about it because I follow what they're doing through Prophet Hubert Angel. Her partnership with the Merck Foundation is building our healthcare capacity by training over 200 doctors in critical specializations. That is a software function. But let's look at tourism. The government identified that we need to diversify our product beyond safaris. One of the most innovative new products has been gastronomy tourism. And who spearheaded this? The First Lady, with her Amai traditional cookout competitions. This initiative became so successful, it culminated in Zimbabwe hosting the first ever United Nations Tourism Gastronomy Conference in Africa. That is a turning point, a cultural initiative which became and has become an international prestige, and I think a driver of new tourism revenue. Now, if you think that it is just a passion project, you are missing the actual entire game. This is where the true synergy of the power couple between President Mnangagwa and Mai Mnangagwa is actually revealed. Mai Mnangagwa is the ZANU-PF Politburo Secretary for Environment and Tourism. Let me repeat that. The person driving the most successful new tourism product on the ground is the same person who is shaping the policy at the highest level of the ruling party. This isn't just patronage. This is policy. She is sitting at the very table where the strategy is crafted. Her work isn't implementing the vision. Her role is in the Politburo is where the shaping of the results we now see in tourism really come from. It's a seamless integration of grassroots action and high-level political strategy. It's a feedback loop. Her programs provide the proof of concept, which then inform the national policy that she helped to craft. It's why this partnership is so formidable. Where are we, or what are we left with? The tourism sector is the ultimate proof that Mnangagwa Emerson and Mnangagwa Auxilia have the perfect partnership playbook. It's a perfect fusion for the president's macroeconomic reforms, which is the hardware, and the First Lady's brilliant blend of on-the-ground implementation and high-level party strategy, which I call the software. He builds the airports. She creates a new reason for tourists to fly into the airport. He creates the investment agency. She masterminds the community projects that investors partner with. It's a calculated, comprehensive, and incredibly effective political machine. Listen, there is a story here of a nation's prime asset being rebuilt, rebranded, repositioned, not just by a president, but by a partnership, a formidable team that is methodically and confidently marching Zimbabwe towards its shaped destiny. The billion-dollar results will speak for themselves. I just wanted to give a